Hey there, Sagittarius. Welcome to your reading for the week of July 18th. Just kidding. We're going to jump right in here and we are going to see what is going on for you at this time. You have this Royal You card at the end. I love that card. It's kind of like a glow up type energy card thing. And so that could definitely be happening for you. It's also funny that you have this beaver spirit card, whatever, and you have the Ten of Wands. Beaver card says work on it, and the Ten of Wands is all about work. So let's see. I do feel that there's some change in work, like literally coming in for you. Look, you have the Nine of Pentacles as well. I almost feel like saying, Nine of Pentacles, pre-Empress energy. Empress is glow up vibe. So, there could be some sort of glow up coming in for you. I'm not going to lie. This middle row looks like some sort of challenge at work or challenge in your finances or challenge on what you have been working on in your life in general. So let's dig into it. You have this opposition card. It says confrontation on it. I do feel some of you obviously could have experienced a confrontation at work. The good news is you do have the justice card, which kind of says, there could be justice coming in because of this situation, or things could be balancing out. Again, I like to remind people that, sometimes balancing out could be you quitting or getting fired. And most people would think, like, that's terrible. How could that be a good thing? And I'm like, how many stories do you need to hear of like a person that got fired and then found their dream job, right? It happens all the time. So sometimes I think we think that things that happen to us aren't good, but really if we look for the good in the situation, I feel like we find it. And this reading, I believe, is definitely encouraging you to do that. And here's the first reason. Eight of Swords, right? You have the Eight of Swords, Five of Cups, and the Justice card. Eight of Swords is about only seeing one way of doing things. It is a card of self-imposed restriction or keeping yourself stuck in prison. And so I do feel for some of you, this reading is encouraging you to kind of like set yourself free, be the royal you, the best version of yourself. And that's what this reading is encouraging. I do feel some of you have felt stuck in the recent past. It could be due to some sort of confrontation with a person or a situation in your life. You have the Five of Cups here. Five of Cups is about gratitude. It's about needing to be grateful for what you have. It is a card of like needing to turn around. I always say that on a traditional Five of Cups, the guy has two cups behind him and a bridge and a castle, right? Basically, if he turns around, he'll see the bridge that leads to the castle. So Five of Cups is not just about gaining two cups. It's about gaining a lot more than just two cups, but we have to be open to it. We have to see it. We have to be willing to see it as well. And you have the Justice card. I don't care how stuck you are. The Justice card says, if put energy into something, if you get energy back, keep moving forward. Sometimes, and I've said this before, that I really feel 2022 is kind of like the year of justice, but in the sense that if we're feeling stuck or if we're trying, you might not be stuck. You might just be worked out, right? You might just be having put too much work into something, this middle row, which we're going to talk about. Justice says, focus on things where you put energy in, you get energy back in work, in business, in love, in health, pretty much everything. It says focus on the result, no matter how small it is. Again, I feel like it might sound obvious, but I don't know, I see a lot of people, I've known a lot of people who do things where they're just banging their head against the wall when there's a much easier way to do things. There's a much easier solution. I kind of feel like this first row, quite simply, is encouraging you to make things easier, right? To not make things so hard on yourself. You have this Beaver card and it says work on it. Again, the first card you have after that is the Ten of Wands, which is hard work, obviously. So I feel like that you have a lot of things going on. I feel like you feel very much like the weight of the world is on your shoulders, and I definitely do get that feeling here. You have the Ten of Wands, the Tower, and the Nine of Swords. Not such a great row, right? Not going to sugarcoat it, but we are going to clarify, so don't worry. But you have the Ten of Wands. I feel like you feel the weight of the world on your shoulders. I feel like you have a lot of responsibilities. I kind of get everything, like a lot of work, a lot of responsibilities, a lot of bills to pay maybe, and some other things going on. So definitely a lot of stuff. The good news with the Ten of Wands is it's kind of like the light at the end of the tunnel. Really, to me, I consider the Ten of Wands to be a good card because the guy on the traditional Ten of Wands, he's really having a harvest. It's like, yes, he's done a lot of work, but he's about to reach his reward. So I kind of feel like this reading is encouraging you to not give up. I do feel that there is going to be a tower moment. If there hasn't already been a tower moment, again, I don't want to scare you. I don't think tower moments are a bad thing. Again, I don't look at tarot as bad or good. I don't think it is bad or good. I think tarot is loose, very loose guidance at best, right? So I feel like we should take tarot with a grain of salt, and I do this for a living, so that should tell you something, right? But the tower, I do feel there could be kind of like a shocking moment. For some of you, I feel like you know what's coming. For others, maybe you don't. But this could be in work or business or otherwise. Something is coming in to cause change. But again, the whole point of me saying that is that the tower is not a bad card. The tower has to happen. It's part of the fool's journey. It's part of our life journey. And again, the whole point of the tower is that the people inside the tower have been ignoring reality for too long. It brings us back down to reality, which has to happen sometimes, right? And you have the Nine of Swords. I kind of feel like some of you, again, I'm not calling you out here, Sag, but some of you, maybe you've been avoiding a change or you've been avoiding something. Usually, if we've been avoiding something, we can have a tower moment for sure. For others, I feel like you just have been stuck, with the Nine of Swords. Nine of Swords is kind of like having a nightmare, waking up, and still being in a nightmare. You have a choice with the Nine of Swords. On a traditional Nine of Swords, there's like a wood carving on the bed. And the wood carving is like one person's like on their back, they're like just like no, and the other person has a sword over them. And the Nine of Swords to me says you can choose to be the bug or the windshield. You can choose to be the thing that smashes up against the windshield, or you can be the windshield itself. And what I would say is I feel like you're choosing the glow up. You have this Royal You card. It's like once you go through this, I feel like there's some major glow up vibes coming in for you and a lot of success with this Royal You card. You have the you have the Page of Cups here, the Seven of Wands, and the Nine of Pentacles. So number one, Page of Cups is your imagination. What would life be like if I didn't have to deal with all this, right? I think you need to start dreaming, start imagining, start picturing how you want things to be with the Page of Cups. I do also feel for some of you that there could be love coming in. It's not like at the front of the reading. It's not blasting me in the face, right? So I don't think it's a major thing at this moment, but there could be a person coming in for you. I know that this is a water sign, but for some reason I keep getting Taurus popping into my head. So some of you, it could be a Taurus. Next, you have the Seven of Wands. Seven of Wands is a card of conviction. It's a card of knowing that you know that you're going to be successful. There have been times in my life where I have this right here, Tower, Ten of Wands, Nine of Swords, and I get pissed off. I think it's Ray Lewis. He has a speech on YouTube that you can find, and it's called like Pissed Off for Greatness. And that's what I get here. You can see, look how serious this guy looks. It's like he's really kind of settling in. He's getting ready for something. On this card, he might be getting ready for battle. But for you, I feel like you're just kind of committing to something. You're saying to yourself, no. Like, look, they're like making this wall stronger with those wands there. To me, I feel like you're kind of, it's almost like that righteous indignation. Like I feel like you're very motivated to be successful. And we're going to find out on what in just a minute. You also have the Nine of Pentacles. Nine of Pentacles is a card of gratitude and luxuries. So I do feel there are a lot of things for you to be grateful for coming in for you. But I also feel this is more talking about your focus. Normally she has like the falcon on her hand, right? And the falcon represents what she is focused on. And she's also very successful as well. Here it is. I couldn't find my little deck, but there we go. So let's clarify through this, Sagittarius, and see, again, if you want something to be successful, whether it's love, business, money, again, I feel like that kind of like pissed off for greatness feeling, the just being like, no, I'm going to make this work is kind of like what the universe is looking for. So you might be experiencing a tower moment, but you could be making something else more successful. Let's see. With the Eight of Swords, you have the Hangman. Part of me feels like this, the Hangman is a card of like making a sacrifice. He has sacrificed the use of his arms and his legs. He's normally hanging from the tree of wisdom and knowledge. So he's doing this to gain enlightenment. But with the Eight of Swords here, it's like you might be feeling that you're not ready for something that you are ready for. So I kind of feel it's like saying, like, let's go, Sagittarius. Or there's going to be a tower moment that makes things happen, right? With the Five of Cups, you have the Sun. Pretty good. The Five of Cups encourages us to look on the bright side. I'm really happy that the Sun came up in this reading because the Sun, no matter what, makes the reading more positive. I still, again, don't get me wrong, I still feel there could be some like tower thing going on here. But the Sun is definitely happy. The Five of Cups, I was kind of talking about this. Normally the person on the Five of Cups needs to turn around to see the bridge in the castle. Like, they need to look at what they do have, not what they don't have. They're, on a traditional Five of Cups, they're focused on what they don't have. I kind of feel like that Sun is saying it's time to focus on happiness. It's time to focus on the things you want. With the Justice card, you have the Ace of Swords. Definitely justice. I do feel if you're dealing with like a legal situation or any challenges, that there could be just justice coming in those challenges. But I also just feel there could be a victory coming in for you. But after this Tower situation, I'm not gonna, like I said, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it here. With the Ten of Wands, you have the Queen of Swords. Turning your back to the past. Normally, she's kind of focusing on the future and she has her back to the past. She also finally sees things clearly. So for some of you, if you've already had the Tower moment, I feel like you could be gaining clarity on the fact that whatever the situation is, whether it was a job loss, a business loss, a person loss, whatever it was, I feel like you're understanding that the situation was not for you. With the Tower, you have the Nine of Swords. This Nine of Swords is like ugly. It's like probably one of the worst Nine of Swords that there is. So I feel like some of you, sorry, I just want to make sure my microphone isn't popping off, but some of you have definitely been through it here with this Tower type situation. I do feel like you need to choose to be with the windshield, like I said, which it does look like you are over here. With the Nine of Swords, you have the Page of Wands. Ready for something new. It's kind of funny because I said to Leo, like, I feel like something is finally getting painful enough, right? Sometimes I feel we can be in a situation and we just suffer and suffer and suffer. I had a job years ago where I just like stayed there for no reason. Really, I was like miserable. Didn't want to be there, but it was like at the same time, I could have easily made the decision to change, but I didn't for whatever reason. And I kind of feel that for you here, where it's like maybe, but eventually, by the way, it became too painful and I had to leave. I just couldn't stay there any longer, right? So I kind of feel like for some of you, that could be the Tower moment. Maybe something is just getting too painful. Maybe not literally painful. Like, I didn't literally experience pain when I had that job, but I experienced other symptoms. There were other things that were going on in my life that it just made me miserable, right? So I kind of feel that here. And I'm not saying it's a job, although I do feel for a lot of you it's connected to work. With the Page of Cups, you have the Three of Wands. Yeah, it's like you're finally being freed up here. The Three of Wands is very much about the future. It's my card of like, what are you waiting for? Sometimes I feel like we need a Tower moment to like start that business. We need to get fired to go say, I'm going to show my boss. I'm going to show them, right? I'm going to make this business a success. Same thing with the relationship as well, right? I see it all over TikTok all the time, right? All these people that are like, oh, my person left me, so I'm going to go get fit. I'm going to go, turn my life around. I'm like, what? Do it. Good. Use it as motivation, right? And that's kind of like how I see this reading is like something's happening that's motivating you towards success. Is that always a good thing? I'd say no, but in this situation, I'd say yes. With the Seven of Wands, you have the Two of Swords. Two of Swords is about needing to, again, see that there are other ways of doing things. Normally the Two of Swords, the lady is sitting there. She has the new island behind her. She needs to like turn around and see that there are other ways of doing things, which this whole entire reading, Eight of Swords has been about. And with the Nine of Pentacles, you have the Knight of Wands. Excuse me. Knight of Wands, I feel like you're finally kind of ready to take action towards something new. I feel kind of good about this reading. Again, I'm not so sure I feel good about this, obviously, no. but at the same time, I kind of feel like there's something happening that is motivating you to become much more successful. And that's what you need to realize. And again, I would use that energy. I feel like, part of channeling energy, I feel like it's just paying attention to it, right? Where if like something happens and you become pissed off for greatness, then I feel like you need to make sure to channel that energy into something positive, right? And that's what it looks like you're doing here. Very interesting. And I feel like you will have your glow up, by the way, right here. So go for it, Sagittarius. I really like this. So thank you for being here, Sag. Really appreciate it. Make sure to watch your sun, moon, and rising for a full picture of what's going on for you at this time. But thank you, and definitely enjoy your week.